If you have not gotten your training material, I would like you to get a training. Just if you've not gotten an exercise book, get it, get an exercise book because you're going to be writing. Okay, you're going to be writing and you're going to be paying attention. Today, we're talking about why you must produce. Why must you produce? Today, we are answering a question. It's a nagging question. It's a question that um, has been there for ages. It's a question that needs to be answered. Why must you produce? I'm not going to be using any slide. So if you're not paying attention, you will not get it. I'm not going to be using any slide today. So if you're not paying attention, you will not get it. But if you're paying attention, you will get it. That's why you need to have a writing material to write. Why must you produce? Last week, we were able to x-ray two types of mindsets. We started the topic producer, and we saw that producers are people who bring to life, they bring to birth, they bring to existence something that was not existing before. They manufacture for other people to consume. That's producers. They manufacture, other people consume. Okay. And we saw that for you to be able to produce, production starts from the mind. We saw that there are two types of there are two mindsets that people carry for them to produce. We saw that there is a static mindset, and then we also saw the growth mindset. Okay. We also saw that static mindset has to do with people who are not ready to take initiative, to do something, to move themselves from where are to where they desire to go to. There are people that have not taken responsibility for their businesses. There are people that have not decided that success is a do or die affair for them. There are people that have not yet made up their mind that their dreams will come to reality. So they have different reasons why they don't do what they are supposed to do. They complain about everything. Every person is wrong, but they are always right. They blame their upline, their leaders for being the person that showed them this business and they are not generating results. They go to the point saying that they regret getting started because they are not making progress as they want to. In fact, the static mindset people, all they do is to think about all the negative things. When you meet them, they are always negative about their business. In fact, they don't really believe that this business can change their lives. For them, this business is just something that they got started in to pass time. We saw that the static mindset of these people affects their results, affects their productivity, and affects everything about them, such that although they have the capacity to win, although they have the capacity to generate results, although they have the capacity to succeed in this business, but their mindset hinders them from becoming the best version of themselves. On the contrary, we saw people with growth mindsets. We saw that people with growth mindsets, instead of complaining about the way things are, the people with growth mindsets are always looking for a solution to get better. We saw that people with growth mindsets, the first thing they do is that they fire their upline. As soon as they get started in the business, they fire their upline and they say, you know what? If it is got to be, it's up to me. They don't look at any person. They don't look at the left. They don't look at the right. They take full responsibility for their success. And they say, if I will succeed in this business, then it is up to me. The people with growth mindsets, they are ready to go all out to generate results. They are ready to take actions. They are ready to take steps. They are ready to put in their best. We saw that people with growth mindsets, they have three cultures. They outstudy everybody. People with growth mindsets, the culture number one they have is that they outstudy everybody they know. People with growth mindsets, number two culture they have is that they outwork every person that they know. As a matter of fact, if you want to measure, people that study, if you want to measure people that are hardworking, you will use them as the standard because they outwork every person that is around them. And then we saw that the third culture of people with growth mindsets is that they are the last man standing or the last woman standing. They are the last persons to give up. They don't easily give up. They don't easily give in. They refuse to take no for an answer. They say to themselves, if there is success in this business, if there is progress here, then I'm going to be successful. I'm going to make progress. Okay? These are the qualities, the culture of the people with growth mindsets. And last week, we pledged an allegiance. We said to ourselves that we are going to change our mindsets and have the growth mindset instead of the static mindset. Now, today we are going to be delving into another part of the training producer. We are still talking about producers. And today we want to answer the question, why must I produce? Why must I produce? You know, it was Miles Monroe that once said that when the value of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. When the value of a thing is not known, it's going to be abused. Now, if you don't know the reason why you must produce, if you don't know the reason why you must be productive, I assure you, you will see no reason to go all out. You might see no reason to make sacrifices. You might see no reason to giving your best into production. Now, somebody might be asking, what production are we talking about here? Are we talking about producing food? Are we talking about producing livestock? Are we talking about producing materials? What are we producing here? Okay. The production we're talking about here today is results in our business, results, generating results in our business. Because if you're not generating results, you don't have a business. One of my mentors said, results is the name of the game. Results is the name of the game. As a matter of fact, he that is producing results is alive. He that is not producing results is dead. It's as serious as that. If you want to know that you are alive, if you want to know that you are green, you are flourishing, you must be productive. If you remember that Bible story where Jesus and the disciples, they were going somewhere and he saw a tree from afar. That tree looked so green. It looked as though it had a lot of fruits on it from afar, owing to the fact that the leaves were green. It was blooming. But by the time they drew close, the tree that they saw from afar, by the time they came close to it, the tree was not productive. There was no fruit on the tree. And Jesus was so disappointed. And then he said, you, this tree, this unproductive tree, why are you cumbering the ground? He said, from today, no man will eat fruit of you again. Immediately after he spoke that word, something was activated in that tree. And that tree that began to rotten, because all this while it was just there, cumbering the ground. It was just there, sucking the nutrients, but it was not productive. So all this while it was just there, cumbering the ground, sucking the fruits in the ground, but it was not productive. The tree was not generating results. It looked as though it was productive, but it was not productive. And so because the tree was not productive, he said, from now on, you, this tree, nobody will eat fruit of you again. And report has it that by the next day, when the disciples and Jesus, they were passing, they found out that that tree had withered from the roots. The tree had died. Okay. The tree had died because Jesus said, this tree that is not producing, nobody eats from you again. Now, this goes a long way to tell you God's posture about us being productive. This goes a long way to show you what God thinks about you being productive. Let me give you another instance in the Bible. Another instance is another Bible story where talents were given out to people. A man was traveling on a very far journey. And on this very far journey he was traveling, he decided to give out talents to people. To one person, he gave 1. To another person, he gave 3. To another person, he gave 5. And he traveled on the journey and went to a very distant place. And his expectation was that the people he gave talents they were going to make use of the talent, only for him to come back. And the first thing that happened was that the man that he gave 1 talent came out and said, I knew that you are an austere man. I know that you always like to reap where you did not sow. I know that you are that man that wants to get what you did not work for. So I knew that you're a difficult person. So what I did, I took that talent and I went and I buried it in the ground. I buried the talent in the ground so that whenever you come back, I'm going to give you back the talent you gave to me. And then the response that Jesus had for him was that he was dissatisfied, or the response that his master had for him was that he was dissatisfied. He said, how can I go on this far journey and come back and you are not productive? So you mean that this talent that you were given, you simply buried it in the ground and you did not make anything out of it? He said, why didn't you even just give this talent to the bank, put it in an account that they can pay me, even if it is small money? He was offended and dissatisfied with that servant. And so what he did was that he cast the servant out to darkness. Then to the people that traded with their own talents, the person with 3 got another 1, another 3, he multiplied his own. The person with 5 multiplied his own by 2, got 10. And Jesus was, or the master was pleased. And so he collected the 1 talent that was given to that man and took it and gave it to the person that had 5, that got 10 talents. He now summarized and said, to him that has, more shall be given. And to the person that does not have, the one that he has shall even be taken away from him. I thought that we have a very faithful and merciful God that is very, very keen on seeing his children succeed. I thought that it should have been the other way around, where he would have taken talents and given to the person that does not have so that he will have. But on the contrary, he collected from the person that does not have and gave to the person that has. Showing you that God is not in support of unproductivity. Showing you that God is in support of people who are productive. Okay? He wants you to be productive. He wants me to be productive. He wants us to be productive. So somebody might be saying, what do you mean by productivity? What kind of productivity are we talking about here? Now, in our business, we're talking about you being productive as a person. In area number 1 is personal growth. Okay, personal growth. What do we mean by personal growth? That the day you started this business, we made you a promise. And the promise was mentorship. We made you a promise that we're going to coach you, we're going to work with you, we're going to support you, we're going to guide you to achieve success in the business, and that we're going to be providing you with training and mentorship to be able to achieve these goals you have set for yourself. Now, it is left for you to take a hold of the mentorship that you're being provided with and grow yourself so that you can become that woman, so that you can become that man of value, so that you can become that person of substance, that person of value, so that you can be able to impact other people and to impact other people's lives. Okay? So the first area of productivity is in personal growth. If you look at yourself the day you started the business and today, the question is, Do you notice any growth? Are you growing as a person? Are you growing as a person, or are you still the same way you're being? Now, if you're growing as a person, you will know. How will you know that you are growing? You're going to grow through, you're going to see a change in your mindset, a change in ideology, a change in perception, a change in activity, a change in everything you do. You as a person, you will find out that you are growing. The way you approach problems will be different. The way you approach things will be different. The way you go about what you do will be different because you are growing as a person. So the first area of growth is you as a person. Jim Rohn said, don't work hard on your job. He said, work hard on yourself. If you become a better version of yourself, you'll be able to provide more value, and the market will be willing to pay you so much more money because you're more valuable. Why do you think that in an office, the cleaner comes to work and works from morning till night? The manager comes to work and still works from morning till night. But at the end of the month, the cleaner is paid 100,000, for example, while the manager is paid 2 million. What is the difference? Why is one person paid 100,000 or 80,000, and why is another person paid 2 million naira? Although they spend the same amount of time on their job. In fact, it might even be that the cleaner might exert more physical energy working, putting in more effort. The reason is because one person is providing more value. So the market is willing to pay you more money depending on the quality, depending on the quantity, depending on the amount of value that you can provide. So it is very, very necessary, it is imperative that you should work more on yourself through trainings, through personal development, through materials. In our business, there's no hoarding of information. Everything you need is all out there for you to access. So the first point of call, the first point of call for growth, for production, is you as a person. You need to grow yourself. You need to grow your mindsets. Okay? You need to grow your belief, because the more you grow, the more you work on your knowledge, the more you work on your perception, the more you go through the materials and the training, your belief begins to increase, even though you have not seen the results. Some people think that it is money. When you see money in our business, that is what gives you belief. Now, making money in our business is one thing. Okay, we cannot take that one away. When you make money from something, it increases your belief in that thing. However, it is not enough to keep you in our business. Making money from this business is not enough to keep you. What keeps you in this business is the knowledge you have about it, is the information, is your personal study. It might not even be what I said. It might not even be what your upline said. It might not even be what somebody said that will keep you in the business. What keeps you in the business is your personal belief, personal understanding, personal researches that you have done through going through the trainings, the materials, the videos. All these things are the things that boost you up your belief, and then you find yourself staying put until your results begin to show. You find yourself doing things, taking steps, even when your results have not started coming. You will be going all out to make sure that your dream becomes a reality. So money is not what keeps you in the business, it's knowledge. So go for knowledge, okay? So the first area, the first point of call is your personal growth, okay? Personal growth. I'm not talking about team growth. You can be seeing our team growing. We can be growing in number. We can be expanding. We can be having more offices. You can have more people joining the business. But you might be missing out in action because you don't have a personal experience. You don't have a personal conviction about what we are doing. You don't have a personal belief system that makes you to know that you are in the right place at the right time. How do you have a personal conviction? How do you have a personal conviction? Through the knowledge that you have been able to acquire for yourself. Okay? And that personal conviction is what will make you, no matter what, you are unshakable, you are firm, you are taking steps towards achieving your own results in the business. Okay? So the first point of call is personal growth. For you to produce, you must grow as a person. You must grow as a person. Now, this thing I'm saying, somebody might be, you might just pass by it. You might just take it for joke. You might just take it as not a serious matter. But do you know what? It is the foundation for your success in this business. Your personal growth is the foundation for your results. Your personal growth is the foundation, is the bedrock for you to become successful. I know from my own personal experience that my results is not because of anybody. I am not succeeding because I'm not generating results because I'm not doing the things I'm doing because of anybody. No, I have a personal conviction about the business. I have a personal conviction. I have a personal assurance about the business. And I did not get this personal assurance just because I felt like having it. I got it because I went through the trainings on my own. Nobody pushed me. Nobody forced me. Nobody cajoled me. When I started this business, I took time to go through the training so that I can have a personal knowledge and conviction. I can remember that every night, those days, before I sleep, I'm going to play the training, Your First Year Network, the book, Your First Year Network Marketing. I had the audio copy. So I will play it throughout the night. I will play it over and over again. I read the book GoPro, okay? I watched a lot of videos. I watched some trainings. So I did not just, I saw in GoPro, I saw that I needed to take some steps. GoPro showed me what I needed to do if I want to succeed in this business. So I began to do those things out of a personal conviction through the books, through the trainings that I have gone through. So if you don't have a personal growth, personal experience, personal understanding, personal conviction, you will not go far in the business. You might go fast, but you will not go far. I don't know if you heard what I said. I say you might go fast, but you will not go far. What do I mean by you might go fast? You might start the business, you start making some money. You start getting some quick results. You get sign up, you encash, you enchop. After encashing and enchopping, you encash again and you enchop. You make some quick money, but you don't have any foundation. Do you know what happens to that house that does not have foundation? What will happen when the rain comes, when the storm comes, when the breeze blows upon that house will come crashing down because, oh, after all, it was not built on a foundation. That house did not have any foundation, did not have any roots. So if you're with me and you're paying attention, I want you to type on the chat handle. Foundation matters a lot. Type it on the chat handle there for me. Foundation matters a lot. Foundation. Foundation. Foundation matters a lot. Foundation. Personal conviction. Personal conviction. Personal decision. Personal, assurance. Okay, let me give this business my best. When the day I was starting this business, my upline told me, make your payment and get started. I made the payments. But one thing that my upline did for me was that my upline gave me, materials. My upline gave me materials, gave me the videos, gave me books. And then I was not a lazy student. I took the materials and I began to go through the materials. Oh, God will bless my upline for me. My upline did not give me money. My upline did not give me money. I can tell you for sure, my upline never gave me money. The last time I can remember, my upline only gave me 3,000 naira, 3K, 1, 2, 3,000. When I was going to go and buy, I needed to go somewhere. I was lacking money. That's the last thing I can remember. But my upline gave me books. My upline gave me videos. My upline he told me, go look at these videos, go and search for these trainings online, go through it. Do you know what? If I ask my upline a question, my upline will not answer me that question. Do you know how he will answer me? Somebody, can you guess how he answers my questions? Guess how he answers my question. Can you guess? How does he, when I ask him a question, how do you think he answers my question? He will never answer me the question. He will never. If I ask him, what about this? He will say, please, he will say, go and look for go to GoPro. Go to GoPro and see it there. He will always refer me to a training, to a book. He will always refer me to a material. And that means that if I was hungry enough, if I was really serious about succeeding, I will go and take my time to go through the book and get the answer to my questions. He always told me, never give out all the information. Never give out all the information. Refer your downlines to a book. Because for me, I was like, why not answer the questions straight? Why not, if I ask you this, just answer me? If at some point I'll become offended, I'll say, Oh, why you not? Give me the answer now. Just tell me. I just need yes or no. And each time you answer me, you refer me to a book. I became offended. But do you know what? Because I really needed the answer to the question, I will always go back to the book and find out what I was looking for. And guess what? In the course of reading the book, going through the video to answer that question I was looking for the answer, I will now see the answer to so many other questions. He was preparing me to become a professional. He was giving me the most important thing that the business needed, foundation. He was giving me the most important thing I needed for this journey to success. I hope you know that success is a journey, it's not a destination. He was giving me the most important thing I needed, a good foundation. He was preparing me like a gun. He was loading me with the bullets. So by the time I start shooting, I will never miss out. I'll never lose. I'll never be dry of bullets in my armory. I want to ask you a question. Do you have a foundation? Do you have a foundation? Are you not that person that you have been in the SMO for 4 weeks? For the past, for 4 months rather, something that takes 4 weeks has taken you 4 months. You have still not graduated. You have still not graduated. So let me ask you, do you have a foundation? Have you made a personal decision? Have you made a personal decision? So remember I told you, it's a personal decision. It starts with your foundation. It's a personal decision. It starts with your foundation. So please, if you are following me, the biggest gift your upline will give to you is it money? What's the biggest gift your upline will give to you? Is it money? What's the biggest gift your upline will give to you? Is it money? If your upline gives you money, your upline does not love you. That's not a sign of love. Even if your upline is giving you money, your upline does not love you enough, or the person does not know so much. The biggest thing your upline will give you is knowledge, is information, expose you to the materials, expose you to the trainings. Do you know what? 6 years has passed, and I don't need my upline again. 6 years has passed, and I'm still doing the business, and I stand gidigba. I have faced a lot of challenges in the course of doing the business, and I did not even bother. I did not worry myself. I did not bother myself with all the challenges I passed through. I had the foundation. I had the knowledge. For me, when I was not getting success, the trainings and the materials told me that I was in the process of getting success. I needed to upscale my skill. Do you know what? You need to get knowledge. You need to get knowledge. You need to get a foundation. I'm asking you now. Please type it on the chat handle. I need a foundation. I need a good foundation. Type it on the chat handle. I need a good foundation. 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 So from what we've seen today, we've seen that it's not money. It's not money. My upline did not give me kobo. My upline did not, instead I was the one that was spending. I was the one that was spending, oh. My upline was not spending on me, kobo. I was the one spending. But do you know what? Because he gave me a good foundation, now I'm one of the top earners in the organization. Now I'm among the best in the organization. Now I'm among the people that are being celebrated in the organization. Now I'm achieving the results that people dream about in the organization. Now I am self-sufficient. I am independent. Now I can run my business. Now I have a very large team. Now I have offices in different places. Now I have leaders. Now I've raised a strong team. I'm building a better team even. Now oh my God. All you need is a good foundation. But let me ask you, will you be hungry enough to even go out of your way? The moment my upline told me that all I needed was foundation, was knowledge, I saw that all I needed was the materials, the trainings. I became voracious in learning. I became voracious in learning. I will always look for trainings. I will always look for materials. And God bears me witness. In the night, people are sleeping and I'm playing trainings. And I'm writing out the trainings word for word, line by line. I'm writing out every word. My upline was not there. Nobody was there. And today, I can say that I am better. I can say that I am making some progress. And 6 years has passed. Many people that started with me are no longer doing this business. Many people that started with me, they've quit. Many people that were making money before me, they are nowhere to be found. But because I got the knowledge, I am standing today. Okay, outside the God factor, which is sacrosanct. God factor is number one, but I'm talking about the importance of knowledge. So go for knowledge. Go through the books. Go through the videos. On your own, search. Search for people that are succeeding in this industry and learn from them. Ask questions. Buy a laptop. If you don't have laptop, buy a flash. Come to the office and say, please give me materials, give me trainings, give me videos, give me everything that I need. Download it for me. Send it to my laptop. Send it to my phone. Give me links. Who do I need to know? Who do I need to follow? Who do I need to become friends with? You know, align yourself with the right people. Once you begin to follow the right people, now let me give you some examples of people that you should align yourself with. Jeff Roberti, Matt Morris, Eric Worre. These are some people that you need to align yourself with. Daniel Fire, okay? These are some people that you need to align yourself with. And the list goes on and on. You need to go and align yourself with trainings on YouTube from Dr. Elijah Mba, from the mastermind, of course, Dr. Victor Abasin, and the Ambassador Kelechi and Derek Kelechi, Ronke Olagunju, okay, Ronke Koshemani, Didi Wala. Go on YouTube, they are there. Go and follow them. Follow Eric Worre on Facebook. Follow Eric Worre on Zoom, on YouTube. Follow Eric Worre on Instagram. Follow him everywhere. Follow Matt Morris. These are people that have what you're looking for. Follow Brian Carutas. These are people you need to follow. I don't know if somebody is getting value tonight. These are people that you need to follow. These are people you need to pay attention to. You need to listen to. Okay? So today we are talking about why you must produce. And I said production we're talking about here starts with you, personal growth. How will you feel if a child is born and a 10-year-old child is still sucking? A 10-year-old child is still sucking. Is that not unusual? If you see a child that is 10 years old and the child is still sucking breast, is that child not, is it normal? Is that not abnormal? If you see a 10-year-old child and that child is not growing, the 10 years has passed, that child is still an infant. 10 years has passed and that child is still an infant. If you see a child that you knew when that child was born and 10 years has passed and this child cannot do anything, you know that is unusual. That is what happens to you in this business. If you are not getting knowledge, if you are not getting information, if you are not growing as a person, if personal growth is not happening to you, do you know what? You'll be in this business year 1, year 2, year 3, and you are still sucking, you are still looking for who will give you breast to suck. You are still looking for who will give you, what do you call it? Nan. Who will give you baby formula. Can you imagine a 20-year-old man asking to be given baby formula? Is something not wrong somewhere? If you don't get knowledge, if you don't get information, if you don't get the foundation, you're going to have stunted growth. Other people will be growing because they got knowledge, because they got information. They will be growing, they will be achieving, they will be succeeding, they will be progressing, they will be recognized, they will be celebrated, they will be given awards. They will be achieving their dream life. They will be living their dreams. But if you don't have knowledge, you'll be experiencing stunted growth. Your growth will be lopsided. So it is a clarion call. It's a clarion call to any person here that does not have a foundation. If you don't have foundation, if you want to last in this business, if you want to last and stand the test of time, if you want to be there and become the best version of yourself, let me tell you what you must not joke with. You must not joke with foundation starting from today. And I've told you how to get the foundation. So the first point I've addressed now is personal growth. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about the next point. If you want to produce results, why must you produce? That's what we're talking about. And then I said the production we're talking about starts with personal growth. The second production we're talking about is team growth. The second production that we're talking about is growth in your team. Now, personal momentum precedes team or group momentum. Now, if you as an individual, you're working on yourself, you're growing personally, you're becoming a better version of yourself, you are becoming more efficient, okay? Your level of efficiency is increasing. Do you know what? It will translate into your team. It will begin to translate into your business. It will begin to translate into your team, your structure. Okay? Are we together? Please, if you can hear me, type 1 on the chat handle. I want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. Okay, beautiful. I can see your comments coming in. So, once you start growing as a person, the next type of growth you're going to experience, is that you will start building a team. And the personal growth that you are experiencing will translate into your team. It will translate into your business. You're going to see that those people who are joining you, who are signing up under you, they will begin to grow too, because they'll be learning from you. You will become a powerhouse of information. You will become a powerhouse of knowledge. You will become a powerhouse of ideas. You will become a powerhouse of strategies. You will become a powerhouse of skill. Your team does not have any other option than to follow you, because people will always follow somebody that they know, they like, they trust, somebody that they feel is better than them. And when your team members join the business and they find out that you are an embodiment of knowledge, when they interact with you and they find out that you are an embodiment of information, not head knowledge, you got information, valuable information, do you know what? You're going to provoke your team to become like you. Some people, only what they are full of is complaints. They don't have any information about the business they are doing. What kind of team are they going to build? They will build a team of complainers. Some people are lazy in learning, lazy in doing the business, lazy in taking proactive steps, lazy in going through this, taking the steps to grow the business. So what kind of team will that person build? A lazy team. Some people are full of doubt and disbelief whether this business will work or not. So what kind of team are they going to build? A team that is full of doubt and a team that is full of disbelief. But if you are full of belief, now every one of you here, and both the people that are in this meeting today and the people that are not in the meeting, they are a product of my belief. My belief is strong. When you hear me talk, I don't talk like somebody that is doubtful. When you hear me speak, I don't speak like somebody that doesn't know what he's saying. When you hear me talk, I'm not talking like somebody that was told to tell you so. Like what I was told is what I'm telling you is what somebody told me to tell you. It's just like this meeting that we're having now. I'm speaking to you not because somebody told me something to tell you. I'm speaking to you from the wealth, from the abundance, from the storehouse of my belief, from the storehouse of the foundation I had built. I'm speaking to you from the storehouse of the knowledge I have acquired. When you speak, where do you speak from? So you see that once you as an individual, you are growing, the people that are joining you are growing. But if you as an individual, you are not growing, your team will not be growing. Can you see why you need to grow? Because the growth is not dependent on you. And the growth is not for you alone. The growth is for you and so many other persons. The growth is for your team. If you are not growing as a leader, your team is dying already. If you're not growing as a leader, if you're not achieving new things, if you're not becoming better, if you're not improving yourself, the people joining you, they will not improve. They will start dying. They will not grow. They will have stunted growth. So after you have grown personally, the next place to start growing is in your team. Now, let me tell you something that you need to note. Team growth is an intentional effort. Your team, if your team is going to grow, your team is going to grow because you intentionally want them to grow. For instance, let me tell you how you can know that you are intentionally growing a team. Okay? For instance, you are not in this meeting alone. You make sure that other members of your team are part of this training. You make sure that other members of your team are in this meeting. That's a sign of you wanting your team to grow. You make sure that your team don't miss out on events, don't miss out on trainings, don't miss out on what we are doing. It shows that you want your team to grow. So if you expose your team more to trainings, you carry them along like a mother hen, you bring them close to you, you put them through, you follow up on them. You are not just after them signing up. Some people are just after people signing up and paying money. Once you sign up and pay that money, they've forgotten about you. You don't call them for any reason. You don't build any relationship with them. Then you're not productive. Let me tell you something. Checking up on your team members and following up on them is an act of productivity. I said, following up your team members and speaking to them and guiding them and helping them and asking them questions and asking them, do you need help? How do we help you? What do we do? How do we go about it? Is an act of productivity. Because if you keep doing that long enough, your team members will begin to become productive. And then by so doing, you are going to raise a team of productive people. So the next point of call is team growth, team productivity. So first point of call, personal growth. Second point of call, team growth. Let's talk about the third point of call. What is the third point of call for production? We are talking about types of production we're talking about. Types of production. How do you know? How do you know that you are being productive? Personal productivity, team productivity. And then the third one is awards and recognition. Please type it on the chat handle. Awards and recognitions. Awards and recognitions. Awards and recognitions. Type it on the chat handle. Awards and recognitions. Are you there? How do you know that you are another point for you to be productive at is awards and recognitions. Awards and recognitions. If you are doing this business and you are not getting awards, you're not getting recognition, you have not started. If you're doing this business, no award, no recognition, you are yet to start. In fact, let me ask you, on the chat handle, I want to do an experiment now. Since you started this business, how many awards have you gotten? Type it on the chat handle. How many awards have you gotten? How many awards have you gotten? How many awards have you been given? Wow. I can see a lot of people say none, 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 none. You mean you've not gotten any award? Oh my God. Chai. I'm seeing two awards. Now let me tell you where your award starts from. There is the silent award and there is the pronounced award. The first award you are given in this business is when you become an active partner, when you become an AP. Once you become an active partner, if you have signed up one person, you have applied for onboarding, you have been onboarded, and you have been added to the active partners group. You are in the C21FG active partners group. I want to tell you that that's an award. So how many people have gotten an award now? If you have been added to the main active partners group, you are not in the EAP, you are not just in the EAP group, Merging Active Partners group. You are in the main active partners group. That's an award, type 1. If you have gotten that, if you are an AP, type 1. You are in the main active partners group. If you are in the main, don't type 1 if you are not in active partners group. Oh. Don't type 1 if you are not in active partners group. If you are in active partners group, I'm talking to you, okay? If you are in the AP group, type 1 because that's your first award. The second award, if you have ever been recognized as a Power 500 earner, you've earned 500,000 in a month, type 2. If you have ever been recognized as somebody that earned 500,000 in a month, type 2. Now you have 2 awards. You have been recognized as somebody that earned 500,000 and above, type 2. Okay. I can see some people typing 2. If you are here, you have ever been celebrated as a Kingsman, type 3. If you have been celebrated as a Kingsman, type 3. If you have been celebrated as a Kingsman, type 3. But if you have not been celebrated as Power 500 before, type 2. If you have been if you are an active partner, you became a Kingsman. Congratulations to you. That's 2 awards. If you have been celebrated as an active partner, as a Power 500, as an active partner and as a Kingsman, that's 3. Okay. So how many of us got 3 awards? Or if you have been celebrated as a monthly millionaire, you can still type 3. How many awards have you gotten? Now let me tell you some awards that are in this business. If you are ready to hear the awards, type awards on the chat handle. If you are ready to hear the awards, type awards. How do you know that you are productive? You are always getting awards. In our training last week, I said it. You don't achieve award by chance. You achieve award by is a fight, is a war, is battle. You will not get awarded anything if you don't fight for it. In C21FG, maybe out there you can buy award, but in C21FG, you can never buy any award. You cannot influence an award. Leadership is not given, it is earned. You earn leadership. How do you know that you are growing? How do you know that you are being productive? What area of productivity will you see yourself producing? And then you say, okay, fine. I'm making progress. This thing is working out. I'm heading to the top. When you hear your name being called on the stage, when you see your picture on the big screen, and they are calling you and they are celebrating you, and people are cheering you on, then you can say, well, I'm making progress. Number 1 award, active partner. When you become an active partner is an award. Number 2 award is Kingsman. When you become a Kingsman is an award. Number 3 is emerging cell leader. When you become an emerging cell leader, you get an award. Number 4 is when you become a cell leader. When you become a cell leader, you get an award. Number 5 is when you become a Power 500 earner. If you earn 500,000 in a month, you get an award. The next one is when you earn 1 million naira in a month, you get an award. The next one is when you earn 1 million naira for 3 consecutive times. If you earn 1 million 3 times, if you earn 1 million in a month, you are a monthly millionaire. If you earn 1 million 3 times, 1 million once, 1 million twice, 1 million 3 times, you become a 2 club member. If you earn 1 million 3 consecutive times, January, February, March, or March, April, May, or May, June, July, or July, August, September, or September, October, November, or November, December, January. It's happened for 3 consecutive months, you become a 2 club member. If you raise 1 2 club member on your left, and you raise 1 monthly millionaire on your right, you become a millionaire mentor. You become an MM mentor. Oh my God. Oh my God. What will you gain if you are not an MM mentor? What will you gain if you are not a 2 club member? I don't know if somebody is getting the point tonight. What will you gain if you are not a 2 club member? What will you gain if you are not an MM mentor? What will you gain if you are not a Kingsman? If you generate 36 codes in a month, you are called a connector. If in a month you generate 36 codes, you are called a connector. How many people have generated up to 36 codes this month? Type it on the chat handle. If you have generated up to 36 codes this month, type it on the chat handle. Type 36. If you have generated up to 36 codes this month, type it on the chat handle, 36. If you have generated up to 36 codes this month, type 36 on the chat handle. My God. Are you serious? If you have generated 36 codes this month, I hope you can still hear me. I hope I'm still audible. Is it that you cannot hear me? If you have generated 36 codes this month on the chat handle, type 36. Okay, if you have generated 36 codes and above, and 36 and above, codes and above. Wow. Wow. So can you see now? Can you see now? Can you see that you need to be a producer? Remember what Jesus did to that tree that did not produce? He came to the tree and said, you are not being productive. Tomorrow, nobody will eat from you again. Please type it on the chat handle. I must produce. Thank God today is 30th of March. Thank God today is 30th of March. So that somebody can say, you know what? Enough of unproductivity. Hi. Somebody can say, God forbid that I should not be productive. Hi. Oh my God. I pray that God will grant you understanding and insights. I pray that God will open your eyes of understanding so that you can be able to comprehend what I'm talking about this evening. Why should you be unproductive? Why? I want you to make a promise to yourself. This month of April, as we are entering the month of April, you must produce. I want you to say it on the chat handle. I'm going to, this training, I'm going to send the recorded version to the WhatsApp group. And I would like this training to hold you accountable. By 30th of April, I'm going to play this training again. Somebody remind me in case I forget. In case I get carried away with activities. Somebody remind me again. By 30th of April, next month, exactly 1 month today, that I said I'm going to play this training again. And I'm going to see the people that have produced. You have another 1 month before you to produce. I want you to tell yourself, in this month of April, I must be productive. I will produce. My team will produce. As a person, I will produce. My team will produce. In this month of April, I must be given award. I must be recognized. I must be celebrated in the month of April. Am I talking to somebody this night? If I'm talking to you, please type value on the chat handle. If I'm speaking to you, type value on the chat handle. In this month of April, you must produce. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be stopping my training here. Time is not on my side. Next week, I'll continue from why you must produce. I've talked about the 3 areas that you need to produce. The 3 areas that shows that you are productive. Personal production, team production, awards and recognitions. By next week, I will be talking about why you must produce. I couldn't even enter the topic today because time is not on my side. But I want to believe that any person that have paid attention today, by this time next month, 30th of April, I will be celebrating you and you'll be getting an award. You'll be getting recognized because you generated more than 36 codes in a month. You became an active partner. You became a Kingsman. You made over 500,000 in a month. You made over 1 million in a month. You'll be celebrated for breaking one record, achieving one milestone or the other. Okay? My sincere prayer for you is that God will give you everything you need to become productive in the month of April. My sincere prayer for you is that in the month of April, anything you touch turns to gold. My sincere prayer for you is that in the month of April, you are going to produce massively and that your labor, your efforts will never be in vain. My sincere prayer for you is that as you go all out to produce, to become resourceful, your efforts will become bountiful, will give you bountiful results. Okay? God bless you all for paying attention. I'm going to send the recorded part of this training so that you can go over it again and again. Have a great night rest and see you same time on Sunday next week. Enjoy.